Mr. Gar and Carol's relationship is definitely the biggest element in Mr. Gar getting back in touch with his emotions. But I love that Gar trains punching Judy shows what the wider, lasting impact of Mr. Gar leaving Elbow behind was. The sandwich incident was the final death knell for the luchador, though Mr. Gar seems anxious about his former hero days in general. Anytime viewers saw Elbow, there was strong emphasis on how anxious and timid he was. It didn't matter that he was handpicked by Foxtail at one of his wrestling tournaments. The trophies were nice, but ended up as empty decorations. He never had strong self-confidence on screen until present day as Mr. Gar, the level 10 Globetree Guardian and Bodega proprietor. It's one thing that Mr. Gar was nervous and tongue-tied around Carol. Now, a stranger is looking at him, hopeful and starry-eyed. Punching Judy was a kid that grew up watching and keeping very avid, detailed notes on Elbow's wrestling career. Elbow inspired her to try and figure out what it looked like if she became a wrestler. Yeah, it is part of her family's legacy. There was just something about Elbow that made him stand out and inspire her to try, regardless of not living up to her family's reputation of big, muscly arms. In particular, she comes up short compared to her sister, Trudy. Yet, she persists, trying to find her own mold or unique flavor, instead of staying in her sister's shadow. Judy turns to the former Elbow for a personalized pep talk. If her hero is cheering her on, she can't lose. Despite how obviously uncomfortable Mr. Gar is, KO hypes him up and raises Judy's hopes that much further. Mr. Gar is trapped between his stepson, his #1 fan, and the insurmountable task of reconciling with his past reflection. He defaults to fitness training, one thing that stayed consistent since Elbow, and even became part of his brand image, are big muscles. The training falls short. What other efforts Mr. Gar has curated with the students Rad, Enid, and KO differs in that he gave them all personalized, meaningful advice. He says that the missing element with Judy is that he doesn't know her well enough to tap into that same well of wisdom and insight. The actual problem is that in addition to being Elbow's #1 fan, Judy is a lot like Mr. Gar's younger self. She's strong, she's capable, she has ambition. She doesn't recognize her unique strength or abilities. She doesn't have the self-confidence and self-assurance she assigns to Elbow. In order to help Judy, Mr. Gar makes that final missing loop towards self-actualization. He reached the point of breaking down in front of KO and Carol respectively to get in touch with his vulnerable side before, well, to dig into that deeper, buried side of his emotions. Here, he makes the effort to deliberately get in touch with that side and actively explore who Mr. Gar is with Elbow and that history instead of without. When he finally gives Judy her pep talk, he's able to look at and admire the luchador Elbow. He always had something to offer others. His losses in the ring, his losses at point, shouldn't subtract from what victories and impact he made as a former wrestler and hero. This is another look at what it means to give yourself patience and grace. Even if the starting point is someone else showing you what your art, your efforts, and everything about you meant to or how it influenced them. Mr. Gar tells Judy that her power as a puncher rests in her strong base. If you've ever practiced any martial arts, there's a lot of emphasis in figuring out how to plant yourself in such a way an opponent can't easily knock you off balance. Not only is Judy rooted to her spot, she draws power and momentum from that same grounding. Her punch doesn't solely rely on how much wind-up or power she has packed in her arms alone, like Trudy does. Logistics aside, Mr. Gar once again shows his talent for giving advice that hones in on something very specific to what his student needs. He's found a way to marry the fantastic mentor Mr. Gar is with the dynamite fighter that Elbow can be. Both Judy and Mr. Gar walk away from her match with a stronger, more defined sense of self. I'd like to give a shout out to Starberry and Apricity on Patreon. If you donate to my Patreon or Ko-fi and would like a personalized shout out, send me a message and what name you'd like to be referred to as. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment, even if it's unrelated late night shower thoughts. Share this with your family, friends, and your local Saturday morning cartoon villain. If you love OKKO and are looking for some decor, I have something special for you. There's a Voxy Bunch Pumpkin Patch Visit illustration on a leaf-shaped wood panel, and I have a witchy red-knit date night featuring a KO cameo. Halloween's coming, so one of these might be a perfect holiday gift. I have them up on eBay right now. Check them out!